set to face off with the Chicago Bears. And we are underway here in Las Vegas. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
At the 23-yard line.
Here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Justin Fields at quarterback gets the completion there. CD, what do you think the key is to stopping this talented former Buckeye?
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Rookie quarterbacks have to survive the initiation of the pressure of the NFL. Now, his athleticism can scare you a little bit because if he evades it, he can go a long way. But in the beginning, you want his eyes to go to the rush, not downfield. So bring those extra guys and see if he can handle it.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
That's complete to Mooney. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
Fields now to throw. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from TCU, Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Carr. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And we knew that this offense was going to try to put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on the very first possession.
And you can see in the next-gen stats that one 62 yards in the air. That is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Off play action, Fields. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far there.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And off comes to Montgomery. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Raiders' 47-yard line.
Oh, design run for their wideout. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Montgomery. And the safety, Trayvon Merrick, up to make the play defensively. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
2nd down and 5. Now Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
On first down, it's Montgomery. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. It's the former number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come out 2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
They'll run on 1st down. Montgomery. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. Back to throw. Fields.
It's complete to Robinson. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
It's almost not fair when you talk about Allen Robinson to talk about how dependable he is, but that's a great word for him. Last year, first time he's gone over 100 receptions in his career, and he makes a nice catch there for a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give. This is Montgomery. And some room to maneuver. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
55 rushing yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Now that was a big run. It takes him all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that'll shake the confidence of any defense. So when they're looking for a little bit of support now, looking at their defensive coordinator, if I'm him, I dial up some pressure. I just go after him because otherwise you're simply playing back on your heels, and that's not going to help your defense at all.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Santos with the extra point, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter.
Ties the game at 14. Cairo Santos to kick off for Chicago.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going.
Touchdown, Raiders!
And that is where Darren Waller really excels. He led all NFL tight ends in yards after the catch in 2020. Another nice effort here.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They're firing a deep ball for Kmet. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields.
He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
When you think about this strong safety position, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body, and he's able to get in there and make a great play.
And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. A second quarter score, meanwhile, down in Arizona. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
15's the mic. 15's the mic. I got 15. You.
Carr gonna throw. That's caught by Jackson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On second and very short, Carr.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Able to find Warner. That's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
The swing right out wide to Jacobs.
Touchdown! 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Carlson on for the PAT. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with them down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Fields.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Max Crosby make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call of the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium in Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
115. 115. 115.
Carr. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. 30. 10. 5.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr.
And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point by Carson. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw is Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
And 2021 in the draft, the first tight end off the board, Florida's Kyle Pitts at number 4 to Atlanta. The first tight end taken in 2020 was this guy, Cole Kmet, number 43 overall. Really started to come on late last season. A good grab there for a first down.
On first down, it's Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Play action. It's Fields.
And the Raiders have got him.
Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. 3rd and long. It's Fields. Man open is Robinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Montgomery back to the ground. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Fields. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
The scoreboard tells a story for them a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now Montgomery. And they'll go backwards here. Losing yardage to the 14. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. Here's Fields. Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears cut into that lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. after the touchdown. Here's Santos to kick this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
It's 2nd and inches at the 35-yard line. Right now, 5. Oh, here we go. 7:34.
Now Carr. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
He was taken down by Quentin Dunbar.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. That's complete to Mooney. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with 2nd down coming up. From the gun, here's Fields. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from TCU, Trayvon Merritt. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Throw left side complete. That's Drake. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Raiders are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. 74 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
The Bears on third down. They've hit 4 and 7. This is 3rd and 4. Now Fields. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, B, let's go. Let's get there. He's right there. Crash.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Mike's 15. Hey, look, we're going to go Mike 15, guys. Mike 15.
Card out a throw.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
And the Bears are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man complete. And he will finally be taken down up at the 48. A huge play there for Chicago. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to have this down deep into Vegas territory. A huge play there for Chicago.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Fields now to throw. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Santos now to add the PAT. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21.
Makes the score Raiders 49, Bears 28.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there's a typical run by Josh Jacobs, one where as a defender, you have to make a decision about how you approach him because he's awfully physical with the ball in his hands. 12 touchdowns on the ground last year after 7 as a rookie, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons. Wouldn't surprise me with enough touches, he could easily crack the 1,500-yard mark.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Las Vegas, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers.